Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, January 28th of 2015. My name is Damian Pierre Carter on Facebook, Damian Carter on YouTube, and Supermodel Swagger on Instagram. I hope this cold weather has not destroyed the wonderful karma that each of you probably has coming your way, because I feel a vibration of positive energy and I hope that I can pass it on to you today. Today's topic is actually very interesting. And for the record, y'all, I haven't been drinking. I'm completely sober right now, but later on I can't promise the same thing. But no, honestly, today's topic is very interesting because I was hoping I could shed some light on a behavior that is very common, but no one really seems to have a problem with it. And it goes like this. About 4 years ago, I was having a conversation with a few of my friends, and the topic of meeting guys came up. And basically the scope of the conversation was, if a dude walks up to you and you're not interested in them, you have no desire to get to know them, their name, whatever, and they offer you their number, do you take the number? Do you accept the number? Or do you just keep pressing? I was the first person to speak up and say, if a dude walks up to me and if I'm not connecting to them, or if I'm not feeling them and I really don't want to be bothered with them, the first thing I'm going to say is, no thanks, I'm not interested, turn, walk away. About 3 out of the 5 guys that I was conversing with said to me, that's wrong. That's rude, that's disrespectful, that's not giving him a chance to be a man, that's just destroying his self-esteem. Only one other person in that group, there were about 6 of us, I believe. Only one out of that entire other group of men with whom I was conversing stated, why waste your time talking to him? And this is what the outcome of 2 of the other gentlemen said. One of them said, well, just to avoid hurting his feelings, I'll take the number right now, especially if he's around his boys. I don't want to ruin his self-esteem around his boys, because, that can be an embarrassing thing where somebody's ego could be affected by it. There was another person there that said something sort of like, I might not take their, I might just say, he did this whole skit as to how he would not accept the offer, but then he did this little thing where he did the eye contact, he did this little swag kind of bullshit act. To me, it was bullshit because he knew he wasn't going to call them. And he said, but you know what, I'm going to take your number anyway. If things turn out differently, I'll give you a call. If things turn out differently, I will give you a call. How often do things turn out differently where we actually would want to pick up the number that we know we're not going to call and call them? For me, it's this. If I instinctively know that I'm not feeling you, or there's something within your vibration that doesn't work for me, why would I call you? Why would I take your number? Why would I give you some kind of hope that I will speak with you? I'm sitting on my wallet, y'all. Ugh. And these jeans are snug. Oy. Okay. If I know I'm not going to talk to you, and I know I'm not feeling you, why would I take your phone number? Because then I'm taking you out of circulation in some way, shape, or form, because you're expecting my phone call. Why waste my time or yours? Furthermore, let's take this to a universe level. Let's say the universe has it meant for a guy named Billy to come into my life just to meet me, but only the transaction is supposed to happen because his Mr. Right is around the corner from me. And everything that happens between he and I is predicated on the outcome of everything in terms of meeting his Mr. Right is predicated on the outcome that he has with me. Now, let's say I actually don't waste time. I say, you know what? I'm not interested. Have a good day. Keep moving. He can go right around the corner and meet his Mr. Right. Okay? Now, let's say I string him along. I say, okay, I'm going to take your number. I take his number. I don't call him. He winds up overlooking Mr. Right, going past that corner or window of opportunity to meet the guy that he's meant to meet, all for waiting for something from me when I know I'm not going to give it to him. He then becomes upset. He then becomes jaded, and he then projects this sense of resentment and anger toward the possible Mr. Right that could have been waiting for him around the corner. I don't want to be responsible for that kind of negative karma on me. So I've been always the kind of person who says, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. If someone is not interested in me, I recover from it immediately. It's like, okay, my ego may be hurt for a couple of minutes. I may decide to go home and cry myself to sleep or eat some ice cream about it. But life goes on. Why would I waste my time giving them false hope? And that's what the other guy that I was conversing with said. Why give them false hope? Why give them false hope? And I don't know if this is just a common thing amongst gays, but I've heard some straight girls say some things to that effect as well. I might just take his number just for the sake of taking his number, and I'll put it in my little collection. But I'm at the point now where it's just like, is courting really a joke now? I hope it's not, because I think in some ways I have hope for old-fashioned romance. I have hope for those real dates. And I had a real date 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, where the guy took me out to a play. Well, actually, no, let me scratch that. I got a call from the guy, and he told me to meet him someplace. And wouldn't you know it, he took me out to we went out to dinner. We saw a Shakespearean play, and then we went for a walk in the Sculpture Garden downtown here in DC. And of course, there was a little lip lock at the end of the night, but that was it. But that was a perfect first date. I don't see that kind of courting happening anymore. It's almost a thing where it's like, it's about the game, it's about the chase. And I am not in the mood to chase or play games anymore at 35 years old ever again. Let's clarify, I will be 35 in March. But yeah, it's like, what is the point of me taking someone else's phone number when I know I'm not interested in them? What is the point of anyone else taking someone else's phone number knowing you're never going to call them? Unless you just randomly say one night, I'm horny and let me see what this trick is up to, then you could even establish it that way. It's like, if you know you're going to be on a freak tip with them, take the number, But if I'm clear that I'm not even going to fuck you, I'm not going to take your fucking phone number. Give me some insight on this. Am I missing something in my own generation, in my own time period, where I'm supposed to be a contemporary that is aware of dating techniques and dating standards and practices that are of the 2015 realm? Because if I'm missing something, I need someone to comment on my page and let me know what I'm missing. Again, my name is Damian Pierre Carter on Facebook, Damian Carter on YouTube, and Supermodel Swagger on Instagram. Let me know if I'm missing something, or just tell me what you all believe about that kind of a practice. Because even though to each his own is the ideal here and now, there is a point of to each his own where you just have to be considerate about other people's feelings, because I think there is just some level of disrespect that comes with just taking a phone number that you're never going to call. That's the real talk for today, January the 28th, 2015. Be fierce, be fabulous, and be inspired. I wouldn't sit and chat with y'all a bit longer, but I still got to put on my shoes and hit the library. I had a fabulous interview today, and I have to make sure I send my thank you note. And I'm also going to my social group, so I got to make sure that this body and these clothes are fierce. I beat my face with a sledgehammer today, darlings. Get into it, darling. The sledgehammer is beat. Anyway, I hope you all are having a good day. Stay warm, and if no one else has told you that they love you today, know that I do. Mwah. Have a good day.